It was a typical Monday when Daryl walked butt naked into his bathroom. He was about to take a leak when he looked in the mirror over the sink and froze. A stranger was staring back at him. Daryl shut his eyes, but when he opened them, the stranger was still there. He tried rubbing his eyes, with the same result. The strange face was still there, still staring at him. Daryl stepped out of the bathroom, gave his sleepy head a brisk shake, and then stepped back inside. The stranger was still there. Daryl was short, with a round, ruddy face and warm brown eyes. The man staring back at him was tall, pudgy, with a black goatee and thick eyebrows over dark flashing eyes. Daryl reached out to touch the mirror, to touch the face in the mirror, and the man with the goatee made the exact same move, reaching out as if to touch Daryl's face. Daryl drew back in surprise, and then began swearing at the goateed man, whose mouth appeared to be making the exact same swears. Daryl had a full-length mirror in the hall, so he stormed out of the bathroom to see if the goateed man was reflected in it, and he was relieved to see himself alone. Daryl's nude body was not particularly attractive, but at least it was his body. Returning to the bathroom, Daryl found the goateed man still appeared in the mirror. Well, Daryl had to shower, brush his teeth, take a dump. Not necessarily in that order. And while he didn't care if the guy could smell his BM, he didn't want a stranger watch him do his business. The answer? He covered the mirror with a towel, giving him some measure of privacy. This went on for the next 2 days and nights, but every time Daryl pulled the towel back, the man with the goatee was right there, staring back at him. Why was he always there when Daryl entered the bathroom? Were they joined at the hips, mentally? Were their souls linked together? Were they psychic twins? Psychic twins? It was all a little too metaphysical for a straightforward guy like Daryl. But then came Wednesday. Daryl worked in a high-rise building downtown, and at lunchtime, he, like most of the office workers, went outside to shop or walk in the nearby park. He was just crossing the downtown plaza when he saw him, the man with the goatee, who was staring at Daryl open-mouthed, before bursting into a run and charging straight towards him. Daryl felt a wave of panic sweep over him. For some reason, he was afraid of the man, absolutely terrified, and felt that the man with the goatee wanted to harm him. He had to get away. Passers-by stared at him as Daryl ran past, but Daryl didn't care. He dodged into a building with multiple exits, then snuck out a back door, and so back to his office. The man with the goatee meant to kill him. It was death to even speak to him. Daryl knew such thoughts were totally irrational, but that didn't mean they weren't true. And he knew what he must do. That night, as soon as he reached home, Daryl grabbed the hammer from his toolbox, walked into his bathroom, and smashed the mirror into 1,000 pieces. He didn't care about 7 years' bad luck. He just wanted to sever the connection between him and his what? Not his double, not his doppelganger. What? His nemesis? All he knew was that he had to sever the connection between him and the man with the goatee, and breaking the mirror was the only thing he could think of. But the instant before he brought the hammer down on the mirror, Daryl saw the man with the goatee, and he too was swinging a hammer. He had the exact same idea. The instant the mirror shattered, Daryl passed out, waking up to find himself lying sprawled in the bathtub. Slowly, his senses returned, but once they did, he staggered out into the hallway to check the full-length mirror for any sign of the man with the goatee. But there was no sign of him. After cleaning up all the broken glass, and there was sure a lot of broken glass, Daryl headed off to Canadian Tire, where he purchased a new mirror that, once installed, showed only his own countenance, his own face. The man with the goatee was gone, and he did not return. For the next 2 days, Daryl kept watch for the bearded man whenever he left his office at lunch. But there was no sign of him, and he began to relax until Friday. Friday, he was surfing the local news on a coffee break when he saw, with a sudden start, a photo of the man with the goatee. The headline read, "Man found dead in home." It seems the goateed man, whose name was Denton, had been found dead on his bathroom floor. Foul play was not suspected, even though police had found a hammer lying near his dead body. Daryl was aghast. "Did I kill him?" he said to himself, over and over and over and over again. "Did I kill him? Did I kill him when I broke the mirror?" He was still agonizing about it during his drive home when, checking his rearview mirror, he saw another pair of eyes, alien eyes, dark flashing eyes under thick eyebrows, the eyes of Denton, the eyes of the man with the goatee, the eyes of the man in the mirror. Daryl turned to look to see if Denton was in the back seat and ready to attack him, which is when he drove into the side of a garbage truck. The truck driver survived without a scratch, but Daryl was pronounced dead on scene. A poem. As a beauty, I am no bright star. There are others more handsome by far. But my face, I don't mind it, because I'm behind it. It's the folks out in front that I jar. Woodrow Wilson. Or some other ugly guy like H.P. Lovecraft. Wilson and Lovecraft look kind of alike. Look 'em up. The moral of the story? Your face may be ugly, but be glad that when you look in the mirror, the only ugly pan you see is your own. So, hey, why not blow yourself a kiss? Why not? Here goes. If this is your first visit to my channel, please consider subscribing. My name is Warren, and I write and tell original ghost stories and original horror stories featuring such cryptids as the Night Floaters, werewolves, and the Black-Eyed Children. So again, please consider subscribing. Please help me, please help me to reach my goal of 2,500 subs. Till midnight. Cheers, And be sure to leave a comment. I always reply honest. Pictures used in today's video, courtesy of Pix here, while the music was the dreadful The Dread by that patron of the internet, Kevin MacLeod.